me tell you something before I go in the house, because now I'm about to go in the house and do more orders. Business Chronicles. Let me tell you something real quick, because I have to laugh. Now, I'm down the block from the post office. Remember, I was just in the post office. I did part one. Y'all go watch it. Let me tell y'all something. Remember when I told y'all that I thought I met, yeah, because it's a thought now. I told y'all that I sent the package to the wrong person. Now, remind you, when I tell people to, I ask people to send me their address. Don't tell me it through word of mouth. Type it to me, text it to me, or DM it to me so I can see the whole full address with your full name and I can have it, right? As proof. That's my proof, right? So, I sent the package off 3 weeks ago. This is a story time because, baby, I was trying to tell it to y'all in the last live, but it wasn't. It almost happened again. This is why I'm back on live. So, wait a minute. So, I went to the thing. I got off live. And I told y'all that I sent the last package to the wrong person, and I was mailing out the Gabby cup, the wine tumbler, the blue one, again. Now, here's the tea. The person that I'm mailing it to, this is not the first time that this person orders, okay? And I know this person personally, but I'm not in people's business. So when she sent me the address the first time, I'm not going to say, well, such and such, you moved, or, I'm not being in everybody's business like that. I'm not nosy. If you want to tell me that you moved, just tell me. So and the reason why I say that is because the address didn't look familiar like the last address I know her to be at, where I sent orders at. So 3 weeks ago, I was at the post office and I mailed that cup out. She hits me up last week and says, Eve, I never got the order. And I said, what you mean you never got the order? So I pulls out the receipt. She said, she said, I sent her the receipt with the tracking. Now, this is where I messed up at. Usually when they give me the tracking number on the receipt and everything, I take a picture of it and I send it to them either when I'm in the post office or when I'm sitting right here on this bench, which is down the block from the post office. Clock that. So, but I didn't do it the first time. I'm thinking that's her address. This person know their address. I know her personally. I'm thinking she got it because she never said nothing. So that's when she called me and I found out she didn't have it. All right, now I gotta spend money, remake the order because I didn't have that color cup. So now I gotta order that color cup all over again because I didn't have that specific color. I have other colors, but they wanted that specific color. No problem. I'm thinking it's my fault. Okay, I'll get it. I'll buy it. No problem. Free shipping and handling. I'll mail it off again. So now 3 weeks later, we here. I did the live just a few minutes ago, and I mailed off the order again. Now remind you, she sent me the address again, y'all. She sent me the same address again. So I put it on the box, and me and the lady, because I know the people in the post office, because I be there so much. I don't go live every time I'm in the post office, but sometimes I go live. And it's always in the morning. If I go to the post office in the afternoon, y'all not getting no live because it'd be crazy in there. So, I go to the post office. I mailed it off just a few minutes ago. I got off live with y'all. I mailed it off. And I'm thinking, okay, me and the lady is discussing the address. She said because maybe being that we had to change a few things around like the apartment, instead of doing 6A, we had to do A6, which was real backwards to me, right? But I didn't think nothing of it. It came up like the address that the person texted me. Okay. So I'm sitting here and I'm talking to my friend on the phone. I sent the person the tracking number, the information while I'm sitting here down the block from the post office. This person calls me. And I'm like, why is this person calling me? Eve, that's not my address. I keep trying to tell you that's not my address. That's the wrong address. So I said, what you mean that's the wrong address? I pull out my receipt, the same spot I'm sitting in. I'm so pissed off. Anyway, I had to take that call. Because like, it was aggravating. But anyway, so the person calls me and She said, Eve, that's not my address. That's not my address. You need to go back to the post office. If you're down the block from the post office, go back and get the package back. That's not my address. So I said, you know what? Get off the phone with me. I'm going to walk down to the post office, get the package back. Send me your address. Don't you know that she sends me a whole different address? So now I went back to the post office a few minutes ago, y'all. Me and the post office lady, I have the person that sent me the wrong address. I have her on the phone, on speaker, and me and the post office lady is conversing back and forth about this fucking address. So she said, I didn't take your package downstairs yet. She said, I'm going to leave your money in the system. I'm going to void that last receipt. And when you come back, it'll be the same amount of money. Just put the right address on there. So she had to give me a different label so we won't have to mess up the box and the box that I packed together. Don't you know, y'all, I looked down at the text message. Now I got the person on the phone. I looked down at the text message to look at the address. Don't y'all know it was a totally different address, y'all? I swear to you not. It was a totally different address, y'all. I said, Tawana, I said, girl, look at the address that you sent me. Look in your phone right now. Go to your text messages. Scroll up. I said, as a matter of fact, you don't even have to scroll up. I'm going to send you the screenshots of all 3 times and all 3 different days that you sent me that address. She looking at the screenshots, y'all. She said, oh my God, I sent you that address 3 times. I said, let me tell you something. You talking about the level of pissivity? Thank God I have a lot of patience. Thank God that I don't like to yell and scream in public, because I damn near went in my brain, I went from 0 to 100 in my brain. Because how is it that you sent me the address? You're supposed to be your address. You sent me the address 3 different times. Mind you, I mailed off that last package, not this one right here, the last one, I mailed it off to the wrong address. So somebody got a cup, a beautiful cup, and I'm crying at home last week thinking I made a mistake. I'm coming down hard on myself. I'm crying, I'm doing all of the things. And I said to myself, well, damn, nobody's not going to even send the package back or nothing like that. You know, people keep packages and shit. Nobody sends you your package back. They didn't send the package back. They kept my package, which was a beautiful cup. If I opened up a cup like that, let me tell you something. If I opened up a cup like that and it have a name on there, and I know a person with that name, I would have kept the cup too. I'm not going to even lie. I would have kept the cup too. Because remind you, it had my phone number on there. It had my return address on there. It had my social media information. It had everything up there for that person to contact me and say, well, I'm going to send your order back. They never sent the order back, y'all. So now we in the post office. And I got her on speaker. And now I put the right address up there. She's still on speakerphone. So now the lady that works in the post office said, you owe her money. Just like that. She said, I don't mean to be in your business. She said, but this young lady comes here all the time. She never had no problems with mailing out no packages. Never. I never had a problem with mailing out no packages. Never. Thank God. Knock on wood. Never had a problem with mailing out no packages. This is what she's saying to the customer. She said she had to remake your order over. She was just here 2-3 weeks ago. And I was here when she was here. She had to remake that order over. I know what she do. And I know how your order look. That's an expensive order. So for her to have to remake that order over, and she didn't ask you for no money extra, she said you should just cash app her the money extra anyway. She said because To send off the order, each time it was $25. She's sending you the order again. So that's $50 she don't spend on your order alone, just sending it off. Because I do free shipping and handling. So I didn't never ask the person for no money because I like good customer service. But everybody's not like me. So the lady at the post office is telling her, she said, I know your order gotta be, that order for her to remake everything and everything had to be almost $200. It's no way in the world that she's here again paying this amount of money to send the order off and you about to tell her the wrong address again. And if she didn't catch it, if she wasn't down the block and she didn't catch it, she would have had to remake it again for the third time because of your mistake, because you don't know your address. She said, it's not that I don't know. She said, I'm looking at the now this is the lady in the post office. I'm quiet. She said, I'm looking at the text messages. You sent her that address 3 times. 3 times. How do you send an address that you don't live at 3 times? The same address, the same zip code, the same apartment, the same everything. Like it was her address. She said, Eva, I'm so sorry, yo. She said, I'm thinking that you just sent it to the wrong address. She said, thank God you know that you really, really caught it this time. I said, thank God I caught it. I said, because if it wasn't for me looking at the address, if it wasn't for me sending it, her the tracking information right away, I would have had to remake that order again for a 3rd time, y'all. And I would have been really pissed off because I would have thought it was me again. And I came hard on myself because I've been sending out orders. My business is going on 5-6 years. I've been sending out orders for a long time. This is not my first rodeo with no orders. So for me to have to keep sending out a package and you keep sending me the wrong address, you know how pissed off I was? In my head. Because I'm not gonna the type that wanna yell and kick and scream in no post office. So I held my composure because I have good patience and I have good customer service. But truth be told, that customer should be sending me at least $150. Altogether, it came up to like at least $200. Think about all the shipping and the handling, ordering the cup over, getting the jury over for the cup, all of that, it came up to like at least $150. Just for me to make the cup over and all of that, the labor, $200. Between $150 to $200. Just to remake that order over. So the moral of the story is, if you have a business and you have to ship out orders and the person has your address and your number and y'all communicating back and forth, make sure they always text you the address. No voice notes. Don't do it over the phone where they can say, oh, well, you got it wrong. If I didn't have the proof and the screenshots to send to her right there in that moment, she would have swore up and down it was me. But I had the proof. A good text message and a good DM ain't never failed me yet. Never. And being that I deal with people's names and I put people's names on packages, on their orders and stuff, and I'm talking about printing the names out and everything, and putting it on the order, the cup, I always say, spell it out for me and put it in the text message or the DM. I never say it over the phone, because they can say, oh, well, you spelled that name wrong. I told it to you over the phone and you spelled it wrong. No, you spelled it wrong because you texted it to me the wrong way. I almost had that problem yesterday, and I'm going to tell you why. Because with Chris, you can spell Chris without the H or with the H. C, or you can spell it with a K. So the person said, I want this name Chris on the cup, a sippy cup, X, Y, and Z. So I took the order. Yesterday morning I got up. I hit that person right up. I hit up right back. I said, good morning. Do you want to spell Chris CHRISSY? Or do you want to spell Chris CRISSY? SSY. The person started laughing immediately, laughing emojis. And she know why she's laughing? Because she made that mistake before. So, with a good text message and a good DM, make sure they spell out everything verbatim. Because they will always blame you. The customer will blame you. And here's the thing. All that the customer's always right. No, not in this case. They wasn't right. How you send me your address 3 different times? Wrong. How? Yeah. I'd rather just get it done and get it over with the right way. And if I wasn't sitting here, something just said sit here. Because I'm on my way to the supermarket and I'm on my way to do orders and jump on my other live on my other channel. So, and I told y'all at the end of the live, the last live I just did, I said I'm on my way to the supermarket and I'm going to jump on my other live to discuss the Braxtons. Thank God I sat here. Thank God I sat here. Thank God I sat here. Thank God I sent her the information right away for her to look at it. Because I'm only 2 blocks away from the post office. I'm only 2 blocks away. So if I would have never did that right away and did what I do right away, she would have had that order. I would have went home. They would have mailed that out on the post office, and I would have lost that package all over again. And it would have went right back to the same place it went to before. Nowhere land. And it don't make no sense. That's why I said it's good to have good customer service. It's good to, if you're mailing out packages, make sure you have evidence. Because she was definitely about to say, because where would I make that address up? I live in New York City. That address is in North Carolina. Never been to North Carolina in my life. So where would I get that address out the blue like that? She would have said that I was wrong. But like I told the customer, I said, I don't know where you got that address from. I don't know if your man lived there. I don't know if your family members lived there. I don't know who lived there. But you sent me the same address wrong. Zip code, apartment, everything was the same. 3 different times, and all 3 different times it was wrong. I said, well, maybe you need to go there to find a man or something. She said, I don't know nobody that lived there. I said, but why do you keep saying that address like you lived there before? Here's the thing about the address. When I realized that the package was wrong the first time she called me about the package, I got on the phone with the 1-800 number from the U.S. Postal Service, and me and that lady Googled the address. It's nothing there, y'all. It's like a old office building. It's nothing there. It's no apartments. It's no homes there. It's an office building, and that's it. So I already know. The customer don't know I Googled that address, but I Googled it. Won't you tell me that I sent something to the wrong address and I call the post office and they tell me, well, let's Google it together. I Googled it. The post office said, well, damn, where is this at in North Carolina? I said, I don't know. She said, well, maybe she got the address all wrong. Come to find out, the customer had the address all wrong. So the moral of the story is, the customer's not always right. I'm tired of people saying, oh, the customer's always right. The customer can be wrong. The customer was wrong 3 times. All 3 times the same customer was wrong. So always remember, in business, you do what you got to do to make sure your business run right. Because if you don't, the customer will come back, and make sure you always have proof. Proof is everything. I love a good receipt. I love a good receipt. And I love a good receipt when it's coming from the customer. This is what you wrote. This is what you texted me 3 different times. Here you go. Like, and then I circled the days and the times that she texted to me. Yes, this is what you text me on this day and that day and that day. Yeah, and today. You text me the same shit today. So always remember to have a good receipt. Always remember, if you're mailing off postages and stuff like that, keep all your evidence for income tax reasons and all of those things. I shouldn't have to tell nobody this, but sometimes a lesson can be learned from somebody else's mistakes. And I know that now. I've always known that. This is why I like to do my little lives over here on my channel, over here, my little business chronicles, and then I go blog on the other channel. But if it wasn't for me doing those little key little things right there, they seem little, but they're really, really not. But they seem like little key things. Those are big things that could have made a big mistake today. And I would have had to remake that order all over again for the third time. And I would have been pissed off for the third time. So always remember to handle your business and do what you got to do. My name is Eve the Weave. Please like, share, and subscribe. Handle your business out there. I got to go, YouTube. Later.